My name is Salim Ahmed. I've been swimming since 1968 and competing for a fair chunk of that, but mostly at indoor pool level. And I've been coaching for over 20 years. I started Swim Lab about 14, 15 years ago, and one of my first clients was Watergate Bay. What makes the swim break at Watergate, I think there's nothing like it out there. And what makes it such is not just the location and the fact that it's inspiring and energizing, which it is, it's the way we approach it too. So we will not only teach you technically how to swim, giving away some of the trade secrets of the top swimmers, but we will teach you on how to build that in to your swim journey when you get home. So how do you make learning to swim better for a short period of time over a weekend, something that is sustainable, so that when you go back to our lives, which are full of full-time work, parenting, whatever else, and vary as well, how do you sustain your swimming through that? And what we do at Watergate is we give you guidelines on how to do exactly that. And we give you a dialogue that starts at Watergate but then continues afterwards. So once you've done the course, we do keep in touch and we do help you keep moving, keep swimming and keep improving. And swimming is one of those things that you can improve with age. And at Watergate, what we do is with our 6-point methodology, try and harness that approach and that awareness that swimming is something that you can get better at the older you get. I teach swimming as a performance art, so the spiritual connectivity with water is absolutely critical, and that's the start point for all the swimming. We teach you how to connect and feel comfortable with the element of water. So swimming pools are fantastic because they're safe, they're isolated, and you can break down the stroke technically, almost like a laboratory, but then it's almost applying that skill when we take you out of that into a different sea or water environment. So swimming in the sea, swimming in a lake, swimming in a river, swimming in a tidal pool, all have their own aspects to swimming. So swimming with a wetsuit, without a wetsuit, change the dynamics quite considerably when we swim. And we try to incorporate all of that when we swim. So you won't just learn how to swim well, but also how to adapt for different conditions. And we all know that swimming or doing anything outside has incredible beneficial effects to your mindset and general spiritual outlook. So we don't underestimate that. It's not just about adapting to different kinds of water conditions, it's also about getting all the benefits of being outside as well as swimming. Over the years, when I've been developing my swim approach, one of the things I've found is that doing other activities to complement your swimming has an incredible and dramatic effect on the actual process of learning. So yoga was an obvious one, but taking a walk along a coastal pathway has also proved to be incredibly useful because it's the one moment a lot of my clients drop their guard and start talking about what is really driving them, what their strengths, what their weaknesses are, and where they're trying to go with this. And understanding a client and where their journey is starting and heading can be really useful when you're trying to develop their swim skills. So mixing it up with a bit of yoga, mixing it up with a contrasting activity that's still slightly swim related, so doing surf appreciation and learning about body alignment is very, very useful for swimming. All these things are carefully designed to work with each other, and that's why we do them. The swim break will appeal to almost anyone. We've had people who are top-level triathletes and Ironmen alongside people who are virtual novices attending this, and they've both got so much out of it. Because what we do, the way we do it, is we break the stroke down to its complete theory, and that applies to anyone. So in some ways, taking someone who's got quite far up the food chain in swimming, but has plateaued, back down to breaking it all down. A lot of commonality with someone who is a virtual novice. So we do that. There are, however, a lot of misconceptions in swimming. So for example, it's too late to learn, and there couldn't be a sport that is more the opposite. Swimming is something you can take up almost at any age, and I've taught people to swim in their 70s, 80s and 90s who've gone on to swim really, really well. Swimming is also one of the few sports that you can get better with age. And so the more you learn how to move your body better and learn how to deploy the skills that we will show you better, the better you will swim. The thing that is absolutely brilliant about Watergate Bay is the location. It's an inspired decision to make that pool the way they did. The length it was, around 25 metres, overlooking the view we've got of the sea and the surf. It's just something you won't find anywhere. And so it's the perfect location to inspire and energise. That's the vibe you get from the hotel generally, is it's inspiring in terms of its location, it's energising, being by the sea and everything else, and it's just got this kind of low-key comfortable feel about it that goes and just lends itself perfectly to a swim break. When I drive over the hill, when I'm first arriving at Watergate Bay, that's the bit where I can see the process of me unwinding starting. And I'm sure it's the same for anyone who comes here as a guest. When you turn over the brow of the hill and you start travelling down towards the sea and you can see the sea line, that doesn't stop. You come in, you park your car, you get out onto the balcony and you see the surf. And that's when you finally switch off from wherever you've come from. The next thing I probably do is head to the hot tub with a gin and tonic. And the gin and tonics are pretty good at Watergate. So a gin and tonic in the hot tub to just unwind before the weekend really kicks off is how I'd probably start it. The thing I love about the job is it's a performance art, and it took me a while to realise that because I used to be a competitive swimmer. So like a lot of people, I was borderline burnout, competing, training. I was just mechanically doing it. I started to realise that this was a rhythmic exercise that was becoming a beautiful thing to watch and execute. And that's when I started to teach it as a performance art, and then teaching something that is like a dance, like a performance art, and doing it yourself. I suppose it's the ideal, isn't it? It's the dream job. It's doing what you love. And I love swimming. I just didn't realise I loved swimming until later on, because before it was a job, it was something I did to compete. And then I fell in love with the process later on, and that's why I love it.